morning, boys and girls. Today we are going to really be looking at our word problems, and we are going to be solving and really honing in on where the information goes on the organizer. That seems to be our trickiest component. Sorry, I'm trying to get my camera all set up here so we're not crooked and you can see everything. There we go. I think we've got it. All right, and I'm using a pad paper today because the glare from the light above my kitchen table is super bright and just reflected off of my pre-made organizer. But this will give us a chance to do some drawing and working of problems together. All right, so I'm still gonna use my cubes, 2 parts for the story, the red for the question, and let's go ahead and draw that array organizer. So I've got just a rectangle. I've got total for the total number of whatever the story is about. This up here represents the number of whatever there are in each row. Notice the words in each row. We see that a lot in our stories. That's kind of a clue for you as to where that goes. And the blank over here is just the number of rows. So if the story talks about the number of rows, then however many rows there are, that's where that goes. And then we've got space over here for doing our number sentence, and of course these types of problems are multiply and divide. So let's get down to it. I'm really excited today. All right, here we go. The 5th graders are going to help set up folding chairs in the library for a parents' meeting. The custodian has already delivered 54 chairs to the library. So there are 54 chairs in the library. I want you to imagine Mr. James hauling a bunch of chairs down to the library. The librarian asks the students to arrange the chairs so that there are 9 in each row. Do you see in each row and in each row? I bet this number goes up there. Now, what is 9 talking about? 9 what? What will there be 9 of in each row? Well, since this story is about chairs, there will be 9 chairs in each row. And the question says, how many rows will there be when the kids are finished? So, how many rows will there be when the kids are finished? Okay, so I've got chairs, and I'm looking for rows. My labels don't match, but ding, ding, ding. I noticed that both of my labels in my story match, and my question asks for something different. We've learned that is an automatic D1, which means we're gonna divide. But let's go ahead and just double check. First of all, let's start with the question. How many what? Am I looking for the total number of chairs? Is my question wanting to know how many chairs there will be? No, I already know that. Is my question asking how many there will be in each row? No, how many rows? So this mystery number goes here. And that is another reason I know we're dividing. The only time I multiply is when I'm looking for the total. And my question doesn't even want to know how many chairs there will be. It tells me. So, back to that. There are 54 chairs in the library. Did we get more chairs? Nope. 54 chairs is how many there were in all. So that total goes here. And in each row match. How many in each row? 9 chairs. So it looks like this. Now, how to write that pesky division sentence. Boys and girls, I have students that are just looking at the numbers and going, well, must be this. I want you to think about this. Can I take 9 chairs and divide them into groups of 54 chairs? That's what this means. 9 divided by 54 in each group. I can't do that. I can't do that and get a whole number. But rather, I'm going to start with the total number of chairs, and I'm going to divide them so that there are 9 in each row. So we're going to count by 9s to 54. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45. The magic in the head of the rabbit makes numbers alive. 54. Ah, there are 6. Now, if I just leave this problem like this and I don't answer the question, I don't put the label with my number, I'm going to lose points on my assignment, which only has 3 questions anyway, and on my progress monitor. The progress monitor piece is really why Mrs. Toussaint's honing in on the labels. Number 1, the labels are going to help you think about the problem. The labels are also going to help you determine whether you're adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing when you're looking at a problem. But when you think about them too, they're going to help you set these up so that it'll help you know whether you're multiplying or dividing, okay? Hopefully the more we go, the better this will get. Let's do another one. All right, we are going to draw another organizer. And again, my total number of items goes here. The number in each row goes here. And the number of rows is here. Let's do this. All right. When the kindergartners came to the library, the librarian asked them to sit on the rug as usual in 4 rows of 5. What does that mean, 4 rows of 5? 5 what? What will there be in every row? Well, since the story is about kindergartners, there will be 5 kindergartners. And I'm just going to put kinders because kindergartners is a lot of things to write. And I'm looking for how many kindergartners in all. So how many, and I'm going to write kinders again just because it's a little bit shorter. In all. So I've got rows and kinders, and I'm looking for kinders, my little kindergarten friends. If I've got 4 rows, oh, look here. How many rows? 4 rows. That goes there. That's part of my story. And I've got 5 kinders. It says 4 rows of 5 kinders. Is 5 kindergartners the total number of kindergartners? No. That's how many there were in each row. And I'm looking for how many kindergartners in all this time. I am multiplying. The only time I multiply is when my mystery number goes here. So on the last assignment we did, I noticed that some of you put your mystery number here in the total, and then you wrote me a division sentence. But if you've got a mystery number here, that means multiply. If you're dividing and you know it's a division sentence, your mystery number's in the wrong place. That will be a big clue. So let's figure this out. We've got 4 rows of 5, which means we are going to count by 5 4 times. 5, 10, 15, 20. 20 what? How many kindergartners? There were 20 kindergartners. gardeners in all, boys and girls, in all. All right, let's do another one. Let's do another one. I may actually try to make this a bit smaller so I can fit more on a page, but I also wanted you to be able to see that. Can you see that? Oh, get my paper down here. I've got my total, my number of rows, and the number in each row up at the top. That may be just a little bit too small. Can you see that? All right. When they got back to class, Mrs. Hernandez asked her 20 kindergartners to line up. So we have 20 kinders, and they're going to line up. They are going to line up in rows of 10. Rows of 10 what? Well, if the story is about students, then there will be 10 students. Right? So there are rows of 10 kinders. We don't know how many rows, but there are 10 kinders, kindergarten students in each row. And we want to know how many rows were they able to make? How many rows? So I've got 20 kinders. They've got rows of 10 kinders. There's 10 in each row. And I want to know how many rows there are. So I've got kinders and I'm looking for rows. Ding, 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 ding. Automatic division, because I've got 2 labels that are the same in my story, and I'm looking for something different in my question, right? But just to verify, let's go through this. How many rows were the kids able to make? Am I asking for the total number? Let's see, what was the story about? It was about kindergartners. Do I want to know how many kindergartners in all? No. I want to know how many rows they were able to make. So my mystery number goes here, which means I am not looking for the total, which means I'm not multiplying. So I know it's division. There are 20 kindergartners in all. And there are 10 of them in each row. So I am going to take the total, which is 20, and divide it by 10 students in each row and find out how many rows. Let's count by 10. 10, 20. They made 2 what? How many rows? 2 rows. 2 rows. All right, boys and girls. Let's continue on. I'm gonna try to push that up a little bit so we've got enough room to see to the bottom of this page. Here we go. There are kids at King's School and they are about ready for a great big art show. But there are a few classes that still have not put up their displays yet. The first graders have 36 animal drawings to display. So let's make I've got my total. I've got number of rows because I'm talking about arrays. These are array problems. And the number in each row. So I've got 36 animal drawings. let's write that down. First graders have 36 animal drawings that they want to display for the art show. They want to arrange them in 4 equal rows. And I want to know how many drawings will be in each row. In each row. Do you see in each row? In each row? I wonder where that mystery number is going to go. Let's see. I've got animal drawings in rows and I'm looking for drawings. Do my labels match? No. If there are 36 animal drawings that the first graders have and I want to put them equally into 4 rows, will there be more than 36 animal drawings in each row or less? I'm going to go with there are less, which means we're going to divide, but let's double check this. So this is our question, this is our information. Am I looking for how many animal drawings there are in all, or do I know the total number of animal drawings? I actually know the total number. That was part of my story. It told me that first graders had 36 drawings, so that is my total. I know I don't need to multiply to find my total, because the only time I multiply is when I'm looking for the whole, right? Kind of like when we add, and it tells me that there were 4 rows, and look, in each row, mystery number matches, right? So I'm going to start with the total. I'm going to take the 36 drawings and I'm going to divide them up into 4 rows to find out how many in each row. 4, 8, 12, 16 in the blue with 20, 24, 28, 32, while 36 lies in the dolphin's view. 9. There are 9 drawings. 9 drawings. Very good, boys and girls, very good. We are going to do a few more. I know this is a little bit of a longer lesson, but we are really in need of practicing this just a little bit more. Let's go through and make another organizer. We actually have room for 2 more problems, so that's probably what we're going to do. All right, we've got the total number. This blank represents the number of rows. This blank up here is the number in each row. And let's get started. Here we go. So some of the 5th graders have 60 oil pastels to display. So there are 60 oil pastels that the 5th grade class has that they want to display for the art show. They can't decide how many rows to have in their display though. Some kids think they should display the work in 3 equal rows. How many oil pastels would there be in each row if they did this? So if we put them in 3 equal rows, we want to know how many oil pastels will be in each row. Are you hearing the words in each row and seeing the words in each row? I wonder where that mystery number will go. Let's check it out. I've got oil pastels in rows and I'm looking for oil pastels. My labels definitely don't match. I'm looking for how many there are in each row. So if I have 60 oil pastels and I put them equally into 3 rows, will there be more than 60 in each row or less than 60 in each row? Well, since all they had was 60 and they're going to put them in rows, there's going to be less than 60 in each row, and that means divide. So I know my mystery number does not go in the total. How many oil pastels were there in all? There are 60 oil pastels in all. And there were 3 rows. How many rows? 3 rows. And I want to know how many oils pastels in each row. My mystery number matches my question. So since it's a divide, I'm going to start with the whole, and I'm going to divide by 3. Now, I already know that when I count my 3s, I don't get to 60 because I've only got 10 fingers. So I'm going to take this problem and I'm going to write it in a different way. I'm going to write it like this, and I'm going to divide it like this, and we're going to do some dividing like this. I know you've done this this year with your teachers. So I want to start with a 6. I'm not going to think about the 0 for now, and I want to think, how many times can I count by 3 until I get to 6 without going over? Well, let's count. 3, 6, ooh, only 2. So that was my dividing. I'm going to multiply. 2 times 3 is 6. I'm going to subtract 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And I still have a 0. So this number, if I had an extra number, would go right up here next to this. But because it's a 0, it's just 0. So how many 3s are there in 0? There are none. 0 times 3 is 0. 0 minus 0 is 0. I have no more numbers, and this number is smaller than my divisor, so I'm finished. My answer is 20. Can't forget my label, because I won't get my points if I forget my label. My question was asking me how many oil pastels, and my answer is that there are 20 oil pastels in each row. All right. So let's do one more, and I think we'll call it a day, because I know this has been one of our longer videos, and I apologize for that. But I really want to be sure that you understand about where to put your numbers on your organizers. I think just a little more practice needed to be had with that today. So I'm glad I could model that for you. And if you have any questions at all, please come see me during my office hours. I don't often have students come see me in office hours. We can talk through some problems, can ask me questions. We don't even have to talk about math. I would just like to know how you are doing, because I miss you, of course. Okay, here we go. So the teachers decided to set up the preschoolers' clay animals in the glass display case. There are 30 clay animals and 6 shelves in the display case. So I've got 30 animals and 6 shelves in the display case. If they divided all the animals equally, how many animals will be on each shelf? Okay. Well, I've got 30 animals and 6 shelves, and I'm looking for how many animals. So I've got animals and shelves, and I'm looking for animals. My labels don't match. Now, this isn't exactly rows, but if you think about shelves, they kind of do look like rows, right? So what I have to think about is if I have 30 clay animals and I'm going to divide them equally onto 6 shelves, will there be more than 30 clay animals on each shelf or less? Well, since there are only 30 in all, I'm going to go with less, but let's double check that. So I saw on each shelf, this each is important here, kind of gives me a clue about where that mystery number is going to go, but let's double check. Do I know how many animals I have in all? I do. There are 30 clay animals in all. We did not get more animals in the story. And there are 6 rows because each of those shelves makes a row. On each shelf, in each row, how many animals? Mystery number goes here again. So yes, it's divide because I'm not looking for the total, boys and girls. So I'm going to take the whole, which is 30. I'm going to divide by the number of shelves, and that'll tell me how many there are on each shelf. So I've got 6, 12, 18, 25, 30. That didn't go right. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. Sorry. I got 30 right, but I said 25 instead of 24. So we have 5 clay animals on each shelf. Boys and girls, I want you to keep practicing. I believe in you, and you have made so much progress since we've started our online learning, and you are doing a great job, I know that this is difficult for you, and but you're doing a beautiful job. I don't want you to give up. Hang in there, and I will see you back here tomorrow. Have a good day.